Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Gaza Gojuwati. Now you might be wondering why the format of this video is a bit different from our previous videos. That's because I wasn't originally planning to make this video, but to give you a bit of context, sorry, Baku started his own hybrid battle royale, as you can see right here. So after the Great Hybrid Tournament by Vals Retmir was put to a pause, unfortunately due to IRL issues, Baku took it on his own hands to start his own hybrid contests, namely the Hybrid Battle Royale. I highly recommend that you check out the video in order to get a hold of the rules and whatnot. But basically, I was pretty much the first one to ever submit with my Lacewing Hybrid Razor. Hold on, here he is. So I was pretty much the first one to ever submit. However, after a couple of days before after the video got dropped, he basically dropped this community post where he showed the official playlist for the hybrid battle royale submissions, and he also announced that only video submissions are to be accepted, which is why I need to make a video in order to officially submit my hybrid razor, since I originally submitted him in a community post, as you can see right here. So without any further ado, Baku, here's my submission to your battle royale. Starting with the base genome, I picked the wasp mantid fly. There should be a picture of it on the top right corner. Basically, this provides its overall body frame, which works pretty much is very fitting for how I depicted my hybrid in the final form. Basically, it can fly, it has raptorial forelegs similar to that of a mantis, and it also deploys a defensive mechanism by mimicking a wasp using a fake stinger in order to deter predators. However, that stinger won't be fake for long. Anyways, let's move on to the next genetic contributor, Meganeuropsis permiana, which provides its highly advanced immune system, which it can utilize to basically, how do I say it? It provides its optical system for tracking the movement of its opponents and predicting what its next step is going to be. Similarly to dragonflies, in addition to providing a highly complex flight system that makes it very fast and agile in the air while also conserving stamina. Now, the reason why I picked Meganeuropsis over a random dragonfly species is the fact that Meganeuropsis, being the biggest flying insect to have ever existed and the biggest insect overall, had a very powerful flight system that could carry its large body. Although it should be noted that I am not using the Meganeuropsis for size, considering that it only achieved that size due to the abnormally high concentrations of oxygen it had during the time it roamed the Earth, which are not present in our modern day, which is why I cannot use it for size, otherwise it would not work. However, there is another contributor for size, which will still make my hybrid rather big, which is why I needed the Meganeuropsis, since its flight system is very well adapted for carrying such a large body. Anyways, now moving on to the next genetic additive, the giant Asian hornet, which will provide its skull structure, or basically head, with powerful mandibles for chewing off the exoskeletons of smaller insects and tearing through hard exoskeleton skin and whatnot. In addition to its large head overall, given that it provides enough room for the eyes and antennae to be fully developed, granting my hybrid acute senses as well as the primary means necessary to not only hunt effectively, but also communicate with other members of its kind. Now, that won't be discussed, but in general, it still helps nevertheless. It also provides its stinger with its potent venom that can cause heavy necrosis to the tissue of I meant humans. In addition to its diet and metabolism, being an active hunter that can feed on a wide range of prey items, as well as being very relentless in its hunting, which will be definitely very useful for motivating my hybrid to take on a wide range of prey items. Anyways, moving on to the next genetic additive, we have the giant weta, which will be the primary contributor to my hybrid size, in addition to providing its powerful armor in the form of a very tough exoskeleton for withstanding pecks, bites, and whatnot, in addition to further reinforcing my hybrid's jaws, as well as providing its leg structure for not only supporting its large body, but also kicking to a certain extent, which can also be very deadly with those spikes mounted on them. Moving on, we have the splendid bark mantis, which provides its hunting style, given that the splendid bark mantis, similarly to the neotropical bark mantis, which was used as the base genome for another insect hybrid of mine by the name of Neo, is capable of hunting both via ambush or via active pursuit, which is pretty much the primary hunting style for my hybrid. It also provides a wider range of stealth capabilities, which include camouflage, odorless cuticles, cold-blooded nature, etc., etc., pretty much making it undetectable by all means of sensory equipment. In addition to providing its iridescence, this is pretty much a failsafe tool in the case that its stealth capabilities don't work. And similarly to how Petri utilizes the hummingbird additive for iridescent feathers, my hybrid can utilize iridescence to confuse the senses of its opponents, allowing it to gain the upper hand. Furthermore, it will further strengthen my hybrid's raptorial forelegs, in addition to providing its lack of cannibalistic tendencies, which once again is pretty much related to it being able to work in a social unit. However, the fact that it can also hunt alone, which will be the primary contributor to my hybrid's success in this tournament, will be taken into consideration instead of this trait. So you can ignore it, Baku, if you want. And the last genetic contributor in Mahab's genome is the Asian bullet ant, which will provide a social structure. Again, this trait won't be considered in this tournament as the bark mantis hunting style makes it flexible enough to effectively function as a singular asset in the field, like I said previously. But it will also provide additional benefits such as mineralized mandibles, given that its mandibles were rich in zinc, which allowed it to cut through leaves and whatnot with extreme ease, in addition to further increasing the potency of my hybrid stinger venom, making it all the more deadly. And now we can move on to the final product. Chrysapa as sorry, Chrysapa arcuata, name meaning the rainbow doom lacewing, codenamed Razor. Height 10 centimeters, length 24 centimeters, wingspan 45 centimeters, bite force 25 newtons, grip strength 33 newtons, venom yield at 2.8 milligrams per kilogram. Oh, I almost forgot. Weight is 60 grams, by the way. Jump height 30 centimeters. Jump length 40 centimeters. Ground speed 6.48 kilometers per hour or 4.08 miles per hour. Flight speed 36 kilometers per hour or 22 miles per hour. And it will be deployed in Sector A, which contains the rainforest and whatnot, given that not only does it have strong mandibles, powerful raptorial forelegs, deadly stinger venom for offenses, as well as a durable exoskeleton from giant weta and spiky legs for defenses, but its environmental adaptations include visual camouflage, allowing to blend in meticulously with trees, especially when coupled with no vibrations, odorless cuticles, and cold-blooded nature. Basically, it's other adaptations for stealth which make it undetectable by hearing, smell, thermosensory organs similar to the sensory pits of the vampire bat and whatnot, in addition to providing its balance of a rapid metabolism, which will create a versatile hunter built for both ambush and active pursuit, with pretty much all of its contributors adapted for life in the lush jungles, which is why I deployed it in Sector A, with a large number of trees and water bodies that offer sufficient sources of food and water, all in a pretty hospitable habitat that pretty much provides all the sufficient requirements for my hybrid to thrive in this environment. And the organization, well, I cannot reveal it as of now due to professional purposes. So as of now, it will be only referred to as redacted. And yeah, that's my submission to the hybrid battle royale. Here is a full body picture of my hybrid razor. And so, Baku, here is my submission. Hope you enjoy. And to all the other contestants, I wish you the best of luck. And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And before I forget, I want to announce that this might be my last video for a while. Again, I know IRL issues are really difficult to handle. Just ask the one per Ethereum as well as Val's Redmere. But don't worry, I have very huge plans for whenever I come back. So be on the lookout for that. So as always, thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.